Fitness. Save $28 or more when you join today for just $1 down.
You got the same ad I did. I muted mine in time.
I meant to mute the tab. Well,
wow, Planet Fitness got a huge plug right from the get-go.
We will expect the check soon.
Dude, that's hilarious. Oh my god. Okay, I need to have a browser window open so I can look at the stuff that we're talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
And we're live. Woo!
We are. Welcome. We've made it to episode 20 miraculously.
Good job, us.
I know it.
And by us, I mean you, Ghost.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's been a challenge. There's been power and internet issues and all the things. And
it's a live show. There should always be power and internet issues, I feel like.
I was literally this close to thinking I should just go get like a power supply backup thing just to put on my internet router and, all that, just in case.
Bro, so in this office right now, there are 2 of those surge protectors with a battery backup, and then Patrick's desk has one too. So like and it has happened, especially with like the hurricane recently. My audio looks a little high. With the hurricane recently, the power's gone out quite a bit here.
Oh, you're really low now.
Oh, I'm really no. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you were.
It looked like it was yellow and too high, but hopefully this is okay. I can easily adjust it. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we have like 3 of those surge protectors that go into a battery thing, and this whole office will run for like 45 minutes to an hour at peak battery usage.
Well, that's pretty good.
So, dude, it's so helpful, but especially because we got the server with like all of the footage for all of the videos. Yeah. So like the worst thing you can have in a server is like the power go down in the middle of it doing a job. And obviously it's like RAID, 3 or whatever the hell. But yeah, I don't want all of our footage that we spend all this time and money to make and then it just go away, if something were to happen. So yeah, anytime the power goes out, it's not oh God, what died? It's more of, okay, everybody calm down. We're gonna get everything shut down in the proper way.
Save your work.
Yep, everybody save your work. The internet will run, like, bro, so what I'll do is I'll turn everything off but the internet. And so the router, the Google Home shit, and the internet will run for a while, which is it's kind of neat. So I do highly recommend this if you don't have one. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we were speaking of hurricane and stuff. We kind of dodged a bullet on our side. It looked like it was going to hit more to where we were, and then it went further east. But then, man, North Carolina got wrecked.
Bro, Heather has been showing me videos, and I'm like, dude, shit's gone. Just like it's a pile of dirt now, and it's those like videos where they'll grab their phone and they'll just pan across how it was, like an old video they must have had. I'm not thumbsing that up.
I know, but it's funny.
And then they pan over the new stuff, and it literally looks like a movie set. Like stuff is destroyed so much. So fucking feel for all those people, man.
That's the route I go. I have family in Tennessee, and I go that way through North Carolina to get there because I want to avoid like going through Chattanooga. But
right.
Not now, not for the next year.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things. So Patrick, Patrick's not on this show, guys. He's in the middle of traveling to an off-road expo thing, but it's in somewhere up there, like Virginia or something. So him and his dad are going, and it was like a 3-hour drive, and now it's like an 8-hour drive because I assume he has to go up and just like around all of the chaos. And then connect up. So yeah, him and his dad's trip got way longer because of that.
Yeah, I actually have to go to Tennessee tomorrow because my other side gig doing football games and such.
Oh gosh, how long is that trip going to be now?
Normally it's 4 hours. It's probably going to be not that long because really I could go the Chattanooga way or through North Carolina, and they're almost the same, but it's just there's more traffic going through like Chattanooga, and then I go through Knoxville, but that's going to
Right.
be a lot more heavily traveled now that everybody else is going to be
Right, because it's
rerouting.
like the only route now. Yeah.
So it could take me 5.5, 6, depending upon. I may
Yeah.
just go kind of those highways that kind of parallel the interstate and just enjoy the ride.
So you're gonna drive for 6 hours to like do camera op for a game?
Well, yeah, video production. So I'm in the box. And
Dang, dude, that's so much.
here's the fun
Holy
thing:
crap.
I have not missed a home football game at my alma mater since I was a freshman.
No way. Wow, what a record. So you have to keep the record then.
I have to. Well, I don't have
Yeah,
the
there's
record. Actually, my dad has the record.
so
'Cause
so you're
we-
the son fighting to beat your dad's record then.
And I'm following him 35 years. I'm pacing him 35 years back. He's not missed a game since he was a freshman in '66.
What in the hell? It's amazing.
So when we commit to something,
Yeah,
So-
commitment is not a family issue, it sounds like. Holy crap,
No.
man, that's amazing.
anyway, for those watching, hopefully you all were not affected terribly by the hurricane.
Yeah, for sure.
But if a lot of people were impacted, and so if you can lend something to help, that would be great. But
For sure.
anyway,
Motorcycles.
Motorcycles segue from depressing stuff to
Just
exciting
casual.
stuff.
Let's talk about motorcycles now.
Oh, okay.
It does bring a like I know I have this problem. Like I get so involved in my work that I'm like, oh my God, everything is so important. And then something like this happens, and it's like, dude, I just make YouTube videos about motorcycles. Like, it's
Yeah,
it's really not that serious.
It's not. I mean, you hate for something like that to happen, but it's also kind of, I guess, a silver lining is you can kind of put things in perspective about what does matter.
Yeah, it really does
So-
help the whole perspective side of things. Because like, dude, chill out.
So
You know, if you miss a video or whatever, it's like, oh, okay, a
Yeah.
YouTube video is not going live.
you just messed up the algorithm.
Oh, I know. Now your algorithm's mixed up, and your whole channel's gonna go down. It's not. Never is.
So today we're going to talk about Kawasaki and their 1100s.
11 hundies.
Which, I mean, we'll talk about like what does that really mean for it. And I haven't really dug into a lot of the details of it yet. I've just seen a few highlights. So we'll kind of just pull that up live and kind of compare about what was the old stat versus the new, things like that.
We love doing it live. It's never taken us wrong.
Never. I mean, it's always seamless.
Not a
and
single
smooth.
once.
Y'all are we're just keeping it real.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what we'll do here in a minute is we'll play the Kawasaki videos that they put out on launch day, which was on Tuesday, and then maybe just kind of break it down and just go from there. But maybe first, let's have a little fun with the Moto Photo.
Oh, yes, we love Motophoto.
If you're
Do I need to click on anything to watch the Motophoto? Do I need to do join activity?
no, do a watch stream. If you see that option.
I don't see what. Oh, wait, watch stream. Yeah, I'm dumb. We all knew this, though. Nobody's surprised.
We all know that.
There we
stuff.
go. Oh, check. Bro, who? Oh, Uber Cruiser. Oh, okay. I was about to say, I don't know how the hell to say that name, but then my brain broke it in two, and I was like,
you almost do like a Key and Peele pronunciation.
Dude, no, I thought it was some German name.
Uber Cruiser.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was like, wait, Uber Cruiser. Yeah, it's totally good. Guys, Motophoto comes from our Discord area called Motophoto, where you guys can post photos of your motos, and we love looking at them on the live show.
Mhm.
Little Ducati fam over here. I
right.
do really wish we had a green one. I do feel like there's a distinct lack of a third color here, but I'll look past it. I think this photo tells us one thing, and it's that it doesn't matter what bike you're on, you can throw a bag on the back and go tour. That's what I love about this.
Absolutely. Any bike can be a touring bike. Any bike can be an
Some are-
off-road bike.
Some are better than others,
Some
but
are
they
better
can
than
all
others.
do it.
So nice.
I'm
Nice.
kind of surprised that that
Picturesque.
bag fits on the back of that Street Fighter, though. I mean, look how tiny the rear tail looks versus the width of the bag.
I
That
know, right?
ratio is hilarious. Like 60% of that bag is just overflow.
It looks like the strap goes under the rear seat.
I
That's
would
a
imagine it. You know what they might
like. I
have
mean,
is
yeah.
like they might have that little stuff that goes in under the rear seat and loops on, and it pops a loop out, and then that gives them something to loop to. That, or they literally have that bag attached to the rear seat, which would be annoying to get on and off.
I love it when I pop a loop.
I do not. Popping a loop is not good.
All right. Holy Shockade.
Holy Shockade
Check
with
it
our
out.
favorite Bucky's Awesome and an Africa Twin. Another fantastic bike for doing traveling. That Africa Twin looks oddly small, or is it just the photo?
It may
Like,
just be the
obviously,
angle.
It's got to be the angle, because that bike looks like 2 inches higher than a Trail 125 for me.
That's
right
right.
now.
The Africa Twin 200. But here's the interesting
Africa
thing.
Twin 125.
I mean, you recently did a first ride on one of these guys.
I did, dude.
Here's the thing that you may not have known about it. Did you know its fuel capacity was 33.9 gallons?
Gee, can you imagine, dude?
No,
Can you? A gas powered bike might be as heavy as an electric bike if that was the case. Yeah, home dude just rolled up to a station that a guy in a truck had just left on that one.
Seriously.
Holy shit!
Pump 248.
Yeah, what's the highest gas tank on a motorcycle available? Would it be the Desert X Rally that has that rear tank?
It's
either that or the World Raid, maybe from T7.
But they have is it the
remember.
2 tanks in there?
Yeah, the World Raid's the one with the 2 tanks, and then the
Tiger Explorer's got a big tank, doesn't it?
Oh, it might be the Tiger Explorer. Yeah. Because that one's
Chat,
huge.
go find it.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna look it up. Yeah, chat, go find the Tiger Explorer 1200 tank size. I think that one might be the biggest one.
We're gonna make the chat like our Live on Two Wheels interns. They'll just go fetch us this statistic.
It's an interactive show. You get to watch and work at the same time.
Come on, CJ Pilot, get us that info.
I believe in CJ. Oh,
all right.
Chris says it's a 1300 BMW. I didn't know about that one. HSA. All right. Anyway, Spunky over. Wait, is that the X4 or the 4R or whatever?
No, it's the 500.
Okay. I have still not ridden a 500 GSA. The 1300 GSA apparently has a ton.
No, we need numbers.
Yeah, people. We can't just look at me. Balloons. You know what? I can say random stuff too. Doesn't matter.
I'm just going to claim my Ruckus has more. Well,
yeah.
It doesn't have the biggest tank, but it might have the most range.
My MT10 with me strapping 30-gallon tanks on the side has more. So, until I see numbers. Anyway,
so you get 4 more miles out of it.
Shut up. It gets at least 5. Okay, so we got Spunky here with the 500 from Kawasaki.
And look, it's a touring bike too.
This is a touring special, is what this is. Everybody's touring on motorcycles.
Ironically, the 2 main bikes we're going to talk about are that. So
there you go.
So awesome. Well, there's our moto photos for podcast listeners. Sorry. Maybe you should watch on YouTube and join the fun.
If you're only listening, then that's your problem.
All right. So what we'll do now is I thought we'll just go ahead and hit kind of these promo videos that they released. We got
to get a baseline. Like we need Kawasaki to hype us and everybody else up first.
Actually, before we do that, have you looked at any information on these bikes and dug into the details?
I have only looked into the fact of you telling me 1100s were coming. That is it. I have not researched them at all.
I mean, I've seen a few things that they've promoted in kind of their material or whatever. So before we kind of see what's changed and everything else, when you hear Kawasaki is updating their Ninja and the Versys from the 1000 to 1100. What impressions or what thoughts come to mind about what's changed, what's going to be different about the engine and features, etc.?
Knowing the motorcycle industry, it's the same engine and it's bored out, whatever the hell that means. And everything else is the same. That is what my expectation is.
Mm-hmm. I had an expectation, especially since the Versys was, there was not a 2024 model, at least here in the US.
Okay.
That told me that there was going to be a bigger overhaul, similar to what happened with the Tracer 9 when it took the 2023 year off to kind of get revised with all the tech and stuff.
Gotcha.
So from there, you've got the view of it's the engine and that's it. I was thinking a little more tech, so let's get into it.
Well, so here's my reasoning for that is because I don't look at Kawasaki as like we're gonna do small little incremental things. Like their whole ethos of like is we do weird shit. So I feel like they're either gonna do like literally nothing or a big jump. I feel like that's kind of where they go generally.
Yeah, I kind of along that, maybe a little different is they march to the beat of their own drum. Like they don't feel
don't
the
give a shit
pressure
about
to
nobody
do
else.
like, oh, the Tracer did this, we got to do that, or Ducati's do, they are just we're going to do our thing, and we don't care what y'all do, and we're going to do it good too.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So let's check this out. If you'll join the activity, I've got the YouTubes. And we'll probably get a daggum political ad on here or something too. So
I can't wait. Politics. Yay.
So I think this is the Ninja.
Cool, it's performance. We know. Ooh, okay. Okay, dude's going to the cafe, sees a cool motorcycle. Awesome. It's got the bags. He realizes he could go ride with it.
So there's the 1099 inline 4.
Okay. This is the Ninja. Ooh. Okay, rear Olins. Okay.
Babe, get you some.
So how is this?
Fun fact, I don't know if you saw this, but Haley, Joe Jackson's boo, she is the rider on the Ninja here.
Wait, for real?
She was the female rider.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's crazy cool. What a... Look at that. The dream came true for only one rider is all I'm saying.
I'm gonna turn off the music. Thanks, can we have your bike?
Yeah, sorry, we're just staring at your motorcycle. Can we ride it? So, do you so you said both bikes are touring. Well, so we'll continue. Never mind. I'm sure we'll talk about it.
So this
I get a little ahead of myself sometimes.
Oh, so here's the next one.
Oh, this time they're already out there. They're already riding.
The Versys 1100.
It's a Ninja, but bigger.
So these first two little clips are just kind of the promo commercials. There's a couple more right after it that I think kind of hits the highlights about what changed or some other things.
Yep.
But they're probably still generic stuff. I haven't actually watched all these.
So does that ad before this make you want a Ninja instead of your Versys?
No.
They didn't do their job well.
The thing about the Versys, though, it has a fully electronic suspension. The Ninja does not.
Gotcha. What a pleb bike.
And I think that's the big thing that makes it cost more, too.
Right. Convenient. They went over a green bridge.
Right? They probably painted it for this, knowing Kawasaki.
Or under a green bridge. Sorry. I thought they were going over it. Silly me. That's a cool shot.
Why
Actually.
can't they get me to like go ride their new bikes like this? I'd do that.
Heck yeah. And go eat ice cream and.
No, I'll just be the
Foreign.
stunt double under the helmet. That's all I care.
Oh,
about.
gotcha. You don't care about the ice cream.
Nah. I mean,
how long will it take to get to the destination?
It will take 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Okay. We'll diagnose this later.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that one's kind of just. Oh, that's a couple's bike. Yay.
There you go. Yeah, you're a married guy. You can appreciate a couple's bike.
Well, and actually, this past weekend, the wife and I hopped on the Versys and we went around North Georgia. You know, to
You're
kind of,
literally this ad. Go,
to kind of
come on.
celebrate our anniversary too. So
Dang. You're living the ad, man. How does it
I
feel to
am.
be living a Kawasaki ad? Like
I'm just
truly.
so cool. All right, so this is back at the
You just
Ninja.
need fully blacked out gear now.
I'm gonna mute this on my end.
Oh, so this is our kind
So-
of like product walk around.
Yeah, I think so.
Gotcha.
So of course the engine is the big thing, and so more low mid range power, so usability, improved quick shifter function at lower RPMs. That's actually a good thing.
Okay, so we're refining the quick shifter.
Revised gearing, full color
Does that
grade.
look-
They already had that.
Yeah, I was about to say yours already has that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are
Don't
still the
love-
same.
Yeah. I appreciate this. Love these. Okay. I don't know. I don't think that I don't care about that. That I definitely care about.
And I think that's on the Ninja has an SE version.
Oh, okay.
Like they have like a base and an SE, whereas the Versys is just SE.
Can we all start a petition letting everybody know that all the motorcycle manufacturers that we don't care if you have voice command in your bike? Nobody wants that. So can we all just stop spending the time and
Right.
energy for the love of God?
Well, I think it's almost like here I was talking about Kawasaki doing their own thing, but it's also probably like, well, everybody's got an app, so maybe
Yeah,
we
but
should
they
too.
all suck.
do.
Nobody's as good.
It disconnects
also,
every
like,
time.
Like I know I'm a rare person where like I don't really spend a lot of time on one specific motorcycle, so like I'm surely not gonna connect my damn phone to it. But like, dude, I'm already got my phone open. I've got my Cardo connected. Like I don't care to have the stuff on the bike. Me
So,
personally.
On here it said power for the Versys increased to 133 horsepower.
Okay,
it's about a
comfortable for
11%
cruising.
bump.
I would really hope this thing is comfortable for cruising. Jesus.
Yeah,
This
I mean-
touring motorcycle is good at driving long periods.
that's the same. That's my bike.
That is my bike.
I have the
Okay,
full
four.
modes.
Yes. Okay, so you still have the 4 modes. All right. We're not impressed yet. Do you have traction control?
I do.
We're not impressed. Do you have anti-lock braking system?
Yes.
I'm not impressed. Do you have cornering management function? The hell is
Yes.
that? Oh,
It's basically
You-
the traction control in the corners.
gotcha. Skyhook. Wait. Okay,
Yeah.
so they brought the nice.
I got that.
You have the
They actually-
Skyhook, the same stuff that the Multistrada has?
Yeah, they actually added that in the 21 year, and that's the one I got.
Bro, I love that Skyhook suspension. It is incredible.
USB-C port. That's a nice.
Double helmet rear rack. Okay.
But you have to
really
add that. It doesn't
pushing.
come standard.
Okay. Got the quick shifter.
Now
improved.
that I would be interested in because the quick shifter shifting like down with it.
right.
If you're not in the right rev range, it's jerky.
Yeah.
So
So you have an up and down quick shifter, but want more refinement going down at a varying RPM range.
Yeah, or just for it to work lower because I don't rev high typically.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay.
And so in order for it to be a little smoother, I have to be revved up. So
Wait, that said heated grips and hand guards. It means like heated grips, period, hand guards, period, right? Like The
Right.
handguards aren't heated. Okay. I was like, why are we randomly heating elements of the
Kawasaki.
motorcycle?
We're just gonna keep the ice off your handguards now.
That's hilarious. You know, do you have an issue of ice creating around your handguards? Well, now with the Kawasaki Versys 1100, you can melt that shit. That's hilarious.
All right. Well, that's it. Oh gosh. I clicked the wrong thing. I'm going to. How do I leave the activity?
Wait, do I need to leave the activity?
I don't know.
No. Okay. I'm good.
I'll probably just do. Leave activity.
We got all the fancy fun noises.
Just go. It's asking me a survey. Okay. Anyway. All right. So we do see that the big thing is the engine. And the Versys got a basically 10-11% bump in horsepower. Not that that really matters. It was.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to notice a horsepower bump like that. What about fuel economy, though? Because if it's a bigger engine, does it get better fuel economy or something?
Well, maybe
Give
not.
me the goods.
Let's do this thing. Let's actually go to old Kawasaki.com and look at the specs on it. You want to start with the Ninja?
Yes. I
Versys?
feel like we should start with the lower bike and then work our way up to the Versys.
The weenie.
Also,
bike.
side note, did we all know that the Ninja H2R was a $59,000 motorcycle? I was not aware that it cost that much.
Oh,
Like that's like a lot.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Well, now we all know. Holy crap.
So here they still have the 1,000 and the 1,100 list. They start at the same price.
Are they going to sell them both at the same time? Surely not.
Well, they
Surely
probably
this
still
is
have,
a website not updated, right?
maybe. Well, we'll see. But that's probably the price for the base, and then they have an SE model. Yeah. So the SE is 15.4, which is, and that's where you're going to get the Olins and the Brembos and heated grips. So
Okay, gotcha.
that makes sense.
I mean, that's it. It looks like it still has an adjustable, at least rear shock, even from the base model.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't tell if it has adjustable suspension on the front, though. I'm gonna look because now I'm curious. Okay, non-adjustable front suspension on the base model, but an adjustable rear, probably like a little preload adjuster back there. So is the main thing about like the Ninja, because like they're really making this bike seem like it's made for touring.
It is.
What do you consider the Ninja? Just the Ninja, not the like. Why have multiple touring bikes? You know what I mean? This has been something I'm not really. I don't really understand the Ninja group of bikes, if that makes sense. Like it's not a naked. It's not it's not really a touring. It doesn't look like a touring bike. So is it just this weird little area that they have?
So the Ninja 1000, I think it is a touring bike. Sorry, I'm just trying to scroll so I can compare
Yeah, no,
all
for
the
sure.
things together here. And it actually has a handlebar, not clip-ons.
Right.
And I've always thought that what I'll call the regular Ninja line from Kawasaki is just more of a casual bike, but it looks the part. Whereas if you want the performance, you go to the ZX line.
Okay, so the Ninja is the sport. The ZX is the super sport.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the kind of so they just have two lines of sport bikes, basically. One super sport,
Right.
one's regular sport.
Well,
Okay.
and it's like, Honda's got the, CBR 500R, which is a casual bike, and then the 600RR is the super sport, So
This is true. It's just weird to have them both at the same time, I guess. I think that's
Yeah.
what throws me off. Like, you don't have a like the R7 is the R7, right? Like that's the sporty mid-level.
Mhm.
But in comparison with that, you would have the ZX6R and a Ninja 650. So it's kind of strange. Okay, so the Ninja is supposed to be our sport bike, but it kind of dabbles in the touring side of things as well.
Yeah. And
Gotcha.
I think
Okay.
I think that's a reasonable place for it to be because I did a test ride on a Ninja 1000 last year.
Uh-huh.
Was it last year? Yeah. And I went into it thinking I'm probably not going to be a fan of this because it's a Ninja, it's a sport bike, and I'm going to be
Okay.
uncomfortable. But I thought I do want to ride it, compare it, and I found myself as the ride went on thinking, this is not too bad. I could get some
Okay.
miles out of this. So I've got up
Interesting.
here the Ninja 1000,
Right.
and then the 1100, and then
Okay.
the Versys 1100, just for all comparing. So
Right.
they didn't have a 2024 Versys that we could put up here. So,
Okay. Gotcha.
but I kind of know that stuff for reasons. So the Ninja, the weight is about the same. The seat is the same. Let's look
Obviously, the
at
displacement is different, but that's obvious.
displacement's different. So bore and stroke. So they increased the stroke by 3 millimeters. And that's where they got the additional displacement, which it was just like you said, we're just going to.
Yeah.
Ma-
To be clear, I don't know what boring and stroking things are, but I've heard the term too many times where it's like, our engine's now bigger. And I'm like, oh, cool. Is it? Oh, it's the same.
So
Oh, okay.
So maybe if this helps, sorry if you know this, but the bore is like how big around is the cylinder,
Okay.
and then the stroke is how much it goes up and down. So if so when they say they bore it out more, it can be misleading because they could be increasing the cylinder height. So the bore, like the circle size, is not getting bigger, but how long the stroke is. And so that's what they've done
Okay.
here. And typically, when you have something with a longer stroke, typically, not always, but that is more of a torque oriented metric increase.
Okay.
So that's why, your big single cylinder 650s, have a lot of torque, but your 4-cylinder 650 sport bikes have, a lot of horsepower because they're smaller, but moving faster. Whereas
Gotcha.
big cylinder
Okay.
is you're having to move more weight with the piston up and down.
Right. Okay, so they didn't bore this new power plant
They
out at
stroked it
all.
out.
They increased the stroke.
They increase the stroke by 3 millimeters.
Gotcha.
And so if you do your math, pi r squared times height, that's how you get. Millimeters cubed is actually cubic. Well, then you have to convert millimeters to centimeters so that you
insert
get
the
centimeters.
clip of like all the math signals just going over the screen right now.
So here the Ninja 1100 has a horsepower of 134, which I think is actually down a little bit. I had heard that the horsepower for the 1000 was 140. Interesting.
So okay, I'm going in the opposite direction of
Let's Google it.
expectation, but
Ninja 1000 horsepower. I need to probably do the SX because.
Oh, okay. No? Okay, we increased.
Claimed.
Yeah, claim. So we don't. I mean, we're also working on the other claim number from Kawasaki. So.
Well, so here's one. This says 140. See, this is where sometimes it's hard to find it because people will actually do the dynos and get the actual numbers, but.
Right. Welcome to us every time we do a first ride, and it's like I've gotten to the point now that in first rides I say about anytime I say horsepower and torque, because like anybody can like, oh well, it was cold when we did our dyno run and we got 4 more horsepower, so it's just
Well,
like it's
actually, the
close to it.
horsepower with the friction loss through the transmission.
Bro, anytime anybody talks about like I would never be interested in doing like dyno videos for motorcycles because like the level of people that handle word like numbers like that, I'm just like, dude, I'm not here for it. I don't care. If it's
Yeah.
130 versus 135, I literally could not give less of a shit.
Right, right. Uh, so let's go with this number here. So it says 140 horsepower because that's what I'd always heard is the claim number. And sometimes,
You're the Kawasaki guy, so I'm going to go with you.
you know, it's well, and typically with any bike, if it's what the OEM claims, and then they claim something else for a different motor, that's the best comparison because it's still going to
Right.
shift. So 140, 82 foot-pounds, the 1100, 134. So down in horsepower, but a little increase in torque. Which
I don't think either of those numbers is going to be different enough, though.
It's negligible.
Yeah.
But that goes to the point of you're increasing the stroke. So that typically leans to less horsepower, more torque.
Gotcha.
And then roughly the same numbers for the Versys as well, but it actually went from 120 to 133. So I think what they did is they had some tuning differences between the previous Versys 1000 and Ninja 1000, but now they're probably saying, just let the
Gotcha.
engine be the engine, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, like we were talking about earlier, the user case kind of overlaps a lot. So they might just be realizing the engine can work. Like, they don't need to. We're not talking about a Multistrada versus a Street Fighter, right?
Mhm.
Like, those are two entirely different motorcycles. I don't think these are entirely different motorcycles. They're just like
No.
one slightly different.
It's kind of like styling and ergos. And it's just like,
Right.
do you want to wear your blue shirt or your red shirt, you know? And so,
Yeah, for sure.
let's see. So what else we got here?
A
lot of the stuff is still the same.
Fuel
They did
system seems different, right? So now the Ninja uses the same fueling as the Versys. And overall sub throttles. Never mind.
oval something.
Yeah, so I guess. So do we care? No, we don't care. I'm sure if you went to the press launch, they'd talk like real serious about it and be like, "Oh man, it would sound really crazy," and then you would actually go ride the bike and you would entirely forget about that information.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean,
larger rear tire on the Versys, or a smaller rear tire on the Versys. I mean,
mm-hmm, which is kind of interesting.
yeah.
So they've got the Showa on the SE model for suspension
Okay.
for the front, and then Olin's in the rear.
on the rear. Yep.
And then Showa all around on the Versys, electronically controlled. Again, that's its big thing.
Right.
Slightly bigger rear brake disc on the.
Who even
back,
uses the rear? Am I right?
I mean,
people?
only because MSF told me to.
MSF told me to. I do it.
I do it. Don't ride in the middle of the whatever.
We all ride in the middle when we have to.
We all do. I mean, dimensions are pretty much the same, so that's we don't really care.
The overall width is changed, Ghost, by almost an entire inch. Duh.
Well, okay.
It's also, I was going to say it's heavier, but it's only heavier than the 50 state model.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, weird.
I think that's where California has their whatever
Awesome
going on.
rules.
So yeah, we're not in California.
Insert awesome rules here.
I like how down here it says "make your choice." It's like go buy one now. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure. I don't like this comparison page with Kawasaki. There's too much pressure here.
It's like, well, I got that one, but I like the color of that one, but I want that one. So.
Right. So what's the price difference on the Ninja SE or SX? SX SE. God, what a terrible name. Kawasaki. Do better. That's all we want.
SELT ABS.
Cell tabs. Oh my God,
You
dude!
get some cell
Nobody
tabs by riding this thing.
knows what that means, and if they do, they're too nerded out on the bike. Like,
So
come on.
it's special.
You're too nerded out on the bike. The mass market doesn't understand, and you're confusing people, and they're gonna go buy another motorcycle. Like, come on. You make good bikes. You're just doing stupid stuff.
Okay, so here's a question. Looking at the Ninjas, now for the base cost of the Ninja 1100, it was the same, but you don't get the Olins, the
Right.
Brembos, and what have you.
Yeah, you don't get all the goodies for
So
sure.
we're going to talk about the SE because this is the upgrade.
Yeah. We want to talk about that new stuff.
Do you think it's worth, what is that, $1,700 more for the 1100 with the upgraded suspension, brakes, and the app that has voice commands?
To be, oh my God, the fucking app. Like, when you're talking, so this is a very similar price gap to a lot of motorcycles that give this, because the MT-09 SP, same situation. Obviously, you get a slightly different livery. You get the SP livery, but you get the better suspension and you get the better brakes, and it's about $1,700 more as well. So it seems like the OEMs are like, okay, cool. The obvious upgrade model, give them adjustable or electronic suspension, depending on what they're upgrading from. Give them better brakes, call it 1700 and call it a day. And bro, suspension alone, absolutely. Like, I would hope the brakes are already pretty satisfactory, but for a bike that you're not going to be taking to a track, I don't know if the brakes are literally going to be as life-changing as the suspension will be, but the suspension will be worth it. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm slowly starting to understand, like, it sounds dumb saying it, but I'm slowly starting to understand how big of a deal suspension will make on a bike, and to know how, like, just for example, the suspension that we put on the our little 450 SS that we gave away, or we're giving away, that suspension, all in all, was like $2,000 suspension.
Wow.
And it literally transforms the motorcycle. Like, and I mean transforms in like caps lock. Like, it is an entirely different motorcycle with a setup suspension. So if a suspension on a 450 SS is $2,000, then yeah, an Olin's for $1,700, and
On
you
a
get better
leader
brakes.
bike?
Yeah, totally worth it. It's not
Yeah.
even, that's not even a question. On a MT-09 where it's light and flicky and suspension is even more important, like, yeah, absolutely that's worth it.
I think I saw where.
Oh, if you look the price up, you're really going to feel like that.
Oh, I wasn't looking for the price from that, but I noticed an article from Revzilla talking about the changes here. So I thought, if they've done all the research,
Let's steal it. Let's go.
well, yeah, they've stolen our stuff. We'll steal theirs. So,
Hey,
bazinga! All right. So skimming increase. See, this is where they're wrong. A 3mm bore increase. They didn't increase the bore. They increased the stroke. Revzilla's. Okay.
Revzilla, get on your game, man. Who wrote this?
Get on your game.
Go to the bottom. Let's find out who wrote it and shame them.
Dustin Whelan.
Dustin. Shame. Shame, Dustin. Everybody go to the comments. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Do you know how many articles you guys write? Yeah. Can you imagine him looking at his comments? Actually.
Because if you did the math from increasing the bore, you wouldn't get the 1,090. Sorry.
Andy Uguni's going to go in there and be like, hey, Dustin, you're not being too smart.
Goonie, get on it. Is he in here? I don't know. He'll watch it. All right. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. Yeah, I'm just scanning through here to see if there's any big differences, but I think, I mean, that's nice. Although that whole thing up there is huge.
I was about,
Good grief.
I was about to say, bro, there are, in all due respect,
It's like a radar detector.
There are 1,000,002 ways to do that better, and that is potentially the worst way to add. What is that? A USB charging port, bro? Everybody puts it at the dash. Just do that. Don't put a giant module on the handlebars. Idiots.
That's
goodness.
Oh,
That's silly. Like we can all agree. That's silly.
that is silly. Oh.
Dude, the Versys just look so much meaner than the Ninja. Like, look at that. That looks like two muscle-bound dudes coming at you, ready to beat you down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then the Ninja's just like, oh, he's cool.
Yeah. Although, I mean, the thing about the Versys though is when you look up at the windscreen though, you're like, yeah, that's a bit dorky.
I don't know, dude. That's a pretty
and I'll
mean
live with
shot
it, but
right
I
there.
like wind protection too. I'm at the point in my riding career, I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Just
Dude, same. I need comfort now.
Oh, here's kind of a breakdown too. So the Versys price is $19,500, which it was at like $18,800 or something. So
Okay.
it's only a little bump, so it didn't go up as much.
Right.
I mean, a lot of this stuff we talked about. So
Yeah.
I think one thing that they were talking about too was like was it this? I saw it. So they changed the gearing a little bit in the transmission to where fifth gear is still aggressive enough where you can get your sporty riding in and have good throttle response. And sixth gear is kind of like, okay, now we're just going to knock out the miles.
So kind of overdrive highway situation.
So they're really having both of these bikes kind of, again, converging a little bit more into being a very much the same bike with just different ergonomics now. But
yeah, it's almost like, do you want to pay a little more to be higher up, slightly less sporty with more tech on it? Or do you want basically the same package with less tech and sitting in a lower position to be more sporty? That's really your decision. If you're like, okay, cool, I want the Kawasaki 1100, which one do I want? I feel like that's your main differentiator.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, well, they're both ice cream now. It's which flavor. It's just
it's not even both ice cream. One's double chocolate, one's triple chocolate. How much chocolate do I want? Meaning touring. Like, how much touring do you want?
Well, and these bikes are, I think, kind of the epitome of sport touring, because you've got your sport that you can do with, and then you've got touring. It comes with those side cases that just pop on, which those are good and bad. If you want to know my opinion on it, you can check out my 1-year review video of my 2021 Kawasaki.
That is a fantastic plug.
I know.
Dude, looking at these bikes, I'm like, obviously price is a deal, but like if you can afford both bikes with no problem, I'm over here like, unless you think the Ninja looks really good, the Versys seems like the super obvious option. I know you're biased in this, but
I mean, a little bit, yeah, but the Ninja wasn't bad. I mean, and if it's the electronic suspension, and here's a pro tip. Like, where was the price on this? Is it further down?
Yeah, towards the bottom.
I mean, this is a hefty price. $19,500.
It is not cheap. Yeah,
it is not cheap. But I mean, you do have the electronic suspension. However,
it's
I will say
2/3 the cost of a multi-strata Pikes Peak. I'm just putting that out there.
And if you're patient, you can find one where they knock a lot off. Because I think the Versys flies under the radar, because it's one of those bikes that's like, it's not super magnificent at just one thing, but it's really, really good at a lot of things.
Dude, that's what sucks about the industry, is like the best bikes don't get publicity because they're extremely well-rounded, but generally they're the best bike to get for most people. But because they don't have that one standout thing or whatever, they kind of just get looked over. And
Do
it's
you
just
want
like,
yeah. Do you want a Busa or do you want an Africa Twin? What
right,
if I want
exactly.
something kind of that does a little bit of
Yeah, I would like
um,
maybe a middle ground, please. I'm sorry. I think. I don't know. I just realized I'm wearing an Aprilia shirt while talking about Kawasaki's. My apologies. To be fair, I don't have a Kawasaki shirt, so I don't feel too bad about it.
how about
Perfect.
that? The
Do I
Cowie
have
koozie.
anything green? Do I have anything green? I don't have anything green in arm's length.
And here's the thing, I'm not a fan of green.
That's
So
why you like the red and gray one then.
well, and that was also another selling point because when I looked at that, when I saw that bike in the showroom,
Right.
they had a 22 model next to it, and it was the green and black, and it was then the red and black, and I was like, so the green one's new, but the red one's
Uh-huh.
used. But of course, the
This
red
one's
one,
cheaper and I like it, and this
it's
one's
a,
ugly and more expensive.
yeah.
Let me process this information before I decide on which one to choose.
And I mean, if you've been around, you know I've talked about this, but you know the MSRP of the one before was like 18.5, and my bike was listed, of course, at a dealer still, but listed just under 12,000, and it had 400 miles on it.
400 miles and they drop 6 G's off the price. God.
Now, I mean, of
dog.
course, you have dealer fees and whatever, and that's a whole nother
Sure,
discussion.
but if you're dropping it
but-
6 G's to start, bro, let's go.
So that's when I was like, hey babe, I know I have a 650 and you know it's a good bike and I like it and I could keep it for years and years.
Right.
But come sit on this, please.
Yeah. Yeah, dude,
Um,
that's one of those like rare deals you find and you're like, I would be dumb. I would really be dumb if I didn't, do everything I could to move forward with this. Cuz like when are you going to have another opportunity to get that,
Sorry, I just looked in the chat. Chase Thomas, I believe the Kawasaki green is trademarked as anti-theft green.
Never had a Kawasaki, but I have had a lot of R6s, and those things got stolen left and right. So,
yeah. I mean, it's I just don't like the green. And then I had one of my wife's friends was bike hunting and was looking at Kawasaki's, and they have the KRT, the Kawasaki Racing Team,
right,
color scheme, so it's green and it has a little bit of red on it. And she was like,
yeah,
"Oh, that reminds me of the Grinch." And I was like, now that you say that, I can't not think
you're
of
never
the
gonna see
Grinch now.
That's hilarious.
And
Yeah,
I can never get a KRT bike. So
that one line ruined KRT bikes, period, for you for the rest of your life.
100%.
Well,
Absolutely. So,
rip those.
I mean, they're good machines. I mean, but here's a question: do you think if the main focus of this is really it's the engine? There's a few little add-ons of this gaudy-looking USB-C thing on top, which everyone may even take off.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worth doing an engine upgrade like that? Do you think it's just hey, we're going to refine our engine a little bit and just because, or do you think there's some worldwide impacts? Because the United States is not the only country, as much as we want to think
it's
so.
hard. It's hard for us to understand this. I mean, like, this is where everybody's going, right? Like, instead of adding more power, they're making their engines bigger. Like with the 1190 or 1390 Super Duke and the 990 Super Duke. So like, everybody's doing the same thing. It's kind of like, let's make bigger numbers.
Well, and what I was, I think, trying to get at, but couldn't formulate because words are hard, is like in Europe, especially, there's restrictions on how much, I guess, power output you can do for the size of your engine. So,
really?
Yeah, because Europe's really weird about the emission standard, Euro 5.
Right. So if you want to do more power, you are required to have a larger displacement then.
Or what I think is happening is in order for them to maintain the power that they have, They have to increase the engine
Ah.
size because I think otherwise they would have had to kind of, mute their bikes a little bit.
So we have a regulation coming in requiring you to meet different numbers, and the brands are like, well, we want the amount of power that we currently have, but now we're not allowed to pull that out of that size, so we'll just make a bigger bike. Bigger meaning, more bored out or
Stroked out.
stroked out.
It's stroked out. But that's
I'm
exactly
stroked out.
what Kawasaki did with their 400. They stroked it out to be
True.
a 451 that they call a 500, but we already talked about that. But that was also, I don't want to say that was easy because I'm sure there's a lot of logistics and manufacturing, et cetera. But it was
100%.
probably,
Yeah.
but it was probably the easier route to get more out of kind of what you've already got without changing the physical dimensions.
Yeah. What are
So
you
you're
gonna do?
not,
Make an entire different engine? Like,
and the frames of the bikes can stay the same. So your
yeah,
production
because everything's
changeover.
internal to the actual engine itself, so there's no outside of the engine change necessary. I mean, yeah, so we're just seeing a smart move by OEMs to do what they got to do to continue the performance they're getting out of their motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well, and
kind
it's
of like I don't know if it's like it's not exciting at all. You know what I mean? Like it's
I mean, I think it can be depending upon what audience you're approaching. I mean, for us that are kind of in the motorcycle space, we see, oh, your horsepower didn't change, so what'd you really get out of it? But
right.
to a more casual customer, maybe that's like, oh, they upped the engine size and the price isn't that much more, and it's a little bit of a marketing tool as well.
I mean, I will say I do appreciate that they didn't have a major price jump in a change, because like you are getting different power delivery, I'm sure, like minuscule, but this would be a very easy situation for a company to be like, hey, we used to give you 1,000, now we're giving you 1,100, and you got to pay for that 1,100 extra. So that's cool that they didn't, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think it's just kind of a, guys, these are our new models. It's kind of regulatory, but we're gonna push it as new models. Like that's what it feels
Well,
like to me.
and you can't really blame Kawasaki for that. It's like if they have regulations they have to meet, it's like, well, let's spin this the best way we can.
No, absolutely,
Yeah,
dude. If I worked
so
at the company, I'd be the same way.
any company do that. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
So they're actually doing what they need to. All right. So question for chat: Ninja or Versys 1100? If you had to pick one, what would you go with?
Also, and tell us why. Because if you just say the number or the name, then
That's
it
right.
doesn't help us. We want to know the nitty gritty and the details.
Which one would you pick, and why is it the Versys?
Exactly.
Although
I'm
I
trying to
admit,
think of a situation where I would pick the Ninja, honestly. But I think I might be skewed here because, like, I'm kind of in my little. I'm really into touring, and I really like the upright body position of a touring / ADV bike. So I think even though you own a Versys, I think I might also be skewed towards the Versys because that's the kind of era that I'm currently in.
Yeah, I really think. Well, we'll see if any votes come in. I don't want to sway anybody, but whatever. I really think kind of the determining factor is just which one do you think looks better? Like, I mean, the Ninja I think probably looks a little better just because it's got that. It's a little lower. It's that sport, that kind of traditional, fast-looking bike.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Hobbit, member for 11 months. How's the port closures affecting y'all? And I turn 25 in October. Plus, truck will be paid off December 24th / paid off December 24th / February 25.
Whenever he feels like paying, I guess.
3-month gap. Ninja, cause looks, in my opinion, cause zoom. Yeah, I get that. I'm an idiot and don't know anything about port closures. So there's that.
I
Happy
did.
early
I did
birthday.
see something about that. So,
Okay.
quick detour on that. So it's the whatever the I guess kind of organization or whatever of all the port workers or dock workers along the East Coast and Gulf are basically on strike right now because we want better wages and safety. And
Yeah, the regular stuff.
I'm not saying that sarcastically to dismiss their concerns. I'm just trying to.
For sure. Yeah.
So, like, how does that affect, cargo ships that bring things, internationally? And I did see that it was just kind of East Coast. So if the West Coast is still operating, I would think that's where we get actually most bikes from, the big
Yeah,
four.
because it's a lot come from Japan. So yeah, motorcycles might not get affected a lot. But so what comes in through the East Coast?
I don't even know what Triumphs. Maybe I don't know.
Oh shit! Triumphs are gonna be hard to find coming up.
I don't know. I mean, well, even Harley-Davidsons are being made in Thailand now, so I don't know.
Would Thailand not come from the West Coast then? Since
It would.
closer?
So I don't know. There may be. I think all the OEMs are probably kind of keeping an eye on it, but
Right.
I mean, it would impact more than just, of course, bikes, but anything that comes on international shipping containers,
AKA everything.
everything, because we don't make anything in America anymore. We all outsource it.
We make
So.
Buells. That's what we make.
Hey, Buells are available. Everybody go get one.
Buells have never been more available than they are right now. Actually, they would be less available because if they're the only bike available, then the demand is going to increase. So you're screwed. You're screwed either
The
way.
only ones available, they're not available.
Exactly. Interesting. Science and economic policy.
This is the logic you get on Live on Two Wheels. You're welcome.
This is why you tuned into this show. A motorcycle show talking about port closures.
Baltimore is the biggest auto shipping port in the United States. Interesting.
Note to self. I know Savannah has a massive like auto thing too, or something like that. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. Oh my God, the worst news ever is that the Tenere 700 comes from France, Ghost. Everybody go out and buy your Tenere 700s while you can. There won't be many out there. And
oh, man. And you know what? I had seen, well, you remember the T7, the prices jumped so much during, the world closure. And now they're like coming down and even getting like 1,000 knocked off of it. And they're going to go back up.
It's just going to be everything's a game, and everybody's playing just this little game of like, let's make prices go up and down.
Well, but we are at the quote end of riding season, so maybe the demand will go down and correlate with the low supply.
Oh wait, we have to wait. Oh, there we go. In Uguni, Smart helmet made in the USA, America. Fuck yeah! Hopefully that's how he planned for that to be read.
America.
Fuck yeah! Yeah, it's if you guys didn't know, I'm sure you all do. But if you're buying a motorcycle at the end of the riding season, is the best time to buy it because the vast majority of people care about motorcycle riding, and then the weather gets not good, and they're like, "Man, to hell with being outside." So. Take advantage.
Or you could get one of these new Kawasaki 1100s with heated grips and just enjoy it year round.
People don't realize it, Ghost. You get the right accessories on the bike, you get the right gear, ain't nothing stopping you, depending on your weather and climate.
That's true. I mean, we're fortunate here in Georgia. We can squeeze out year round. Whoa.
You know what?
Here in Georgia, we're
out that sentence.
We are fortunate we can get year-round riding here in Georgia, but
Right.
I've gone to work when it's 28 degrees
Yep, on the Versys,
on the Versys.
because you
And
got
that big dorky windscreen
heated grips.
blocking that cold air.
That dorky windscreen gonna feel great when you got the heated grips and it's 20 degrees outside.
You heard. Nice. All right. Since we kind of talked about a fun little news bit, let's go
To the quick shifter.
do the quick shit. Where's the thing? Got it.
Welcome to the quick shifter.
And see, they see that video intro while I scroll down and do the thing.
Yeah. Distract them.
Movie magic. Need to update some clips in there. All right, quick shifter number 1. It's looking like October 9th will be the official announcement of the highly rumored Yamaha YZF R9.
It is about damn time. Everybody's been talking about it. Everybody knows it's coming. Can we just get it out here and get it over with?
They were good to have it come out on the 9th. I mean, that's,
I mean, it. You know that like there was one guy in the corner of the like corporate office, and they were like, "Okay, cool. It looks like our estimated projection date would be October 7th." And the one guy in the corner that never says anything is like, "If we push the release date back by 2 days, it would be an R9 coming out on the 9th." And they're like,
and then he giggles about
"Bob, you're genius." And then his manager would take credit for it, and then
100%.
everything else is history.
Absolutely.
This will be exciting. I know a lot of people are stoked about it. There seems to be, ever since the R6 went away, and the Daytona 675 went away, there has been this kind of hole in the market for wanting a quick sporty bike from that area. And I know CBR 600RR is a thing, and the ZX6R and all, but there does seem to be like a hole in the space in the super sport range. So I think this will make a lot of people happy. And
so we may use that as the topic for the next show after we get the official announcement and the details and specs come out.
Indeed.
So, next up, Honda's bringing another mini moto to the U.S. Joining the Grand Monkey, the trail, is the Dax. Have you seen that one?
I have not seen the Dax. Can we get a photo of this? Also, bro, are Honda selling that many mini bikes that they need 4 of them? I mean, apparently the answer is yes. Like that, it's not a question. Huh?
Yeah,
bro. That is literally a trail mixed with a monkey. Is that not?
It's a Liger.
If you took a Honda Monkey and you put a trail and you just smash them together hard enough, it would pop that out. Also, I know we were talking about this the other day, and like what bike would win. I think I would pick that over both the Monkey and the trail.
Hot take. I think this looks like an 80s version of one of those bikes. And
I think that might be why I like it. And I especially like that red.
Maybe it's a 70s version.
Click on that one to the right. Look at that red one. Oh, what a good red.
Now that's a good color on it, but
Dude, look at the neck of it though. Look at
I know. That looks like it's like a snail or something. It's like a snail with like this metallic armor around it.
This is going to sound I mean, it looks kind of like a reject, and I love it. Is where I'm at right now with it.
It's like Wally or something. The forgotten.
No, look at the old one. Look at that orange one down on the column or row 3, column 3.
Yeah,
bro, they haven't changed it at all.
Well, and I think that's the appeal.
Black.
Yeah, that's the appeal of it, though. It is old school looking, and it's a throwback.
I do think they messed up by putting it with a front wheel fender instead of the little mud guard higher up. I feel like that was a misstep though. Yeah, because like look at that. That's got the fender like high up, but then the new one, it's just got a rear wheel fender or a front wheel fender.
They might have changed like the braking system, maybe gone from like drum brakes to.
Yeah, maybe. The blacked out one looks real sick right there.
This one.
That's a special. No, the one to the left of that one.
Oh.
Bro, check
that's a custom
little beast out. Oh my god, you can do off-road. I love it. That's my favorite.
I don't know, man. I still am going to pitch to you that you need to call your Honda contact, get all the 125s that they have, and we just have a Honda Mini Moto showdown.
I would absolutely love it. If I can make that happen in 2025, I will 100% do that. The mini bike videos do really well, so it would make sense to do that. So, and I feel like it's possible. Honda's been so cool to work with us. Like it's one of those rare relationships where we are the one slowing the relationship down. Typically, we're the one asking the company to do videos, but Honda's been like, dude, anything you want to do, you just let us know. It's like chill as hell.
I need to. Well,
I'm here for the DAX though, generally.
Anyway, that was a long shift on that one. So
That was a shit. That was a
and
12
then
gear.
KTM is looking to bounce back from their financial slump. They plan to attend EICMA for the first time in 5 years, with a bit of a refreshed lineup. They had
How
like a
can
little.
they have a refreshed lineup? Did they not just release the 990 and the 1390? Like what else? What
I
else
don't know.
are we-
That's the word that was out there. There was a promo picture of like 5 bikes underneath like all these, covers,
Oh, I
KTM
did
ones.
see that. So what do they?
So-
They already have a bike that touches every category, right? I mean, maybe they
I don't know. The new, 1890. I don't know. It's just they're gonna.
My God, 1890.
It's like,
Jesus Christ.
I
I mean,
mean,
yeah, they already have the off-road stuff. They have the nakeds. They have the. I mean, they don't have sport stuff, like which I've always found interesting that they are such a performance brand, and they seem to really focus in the nakeds and like off-road stuff. It's kind of strange.
I don't know, man. We'll see what comes up. Again, what does EICMA stand for?
Uh,
I have some help. If you need it.
International Motocicle.
Let's see how close you are.
Esponsión Internacionate Ciclo Motorcicle y Accessory.
Wow.
I got the middle part somehow, and I left off the E and the A, but I got close there. Somebody said a iron butt on mini motos on small Honda. I think somebody needs to do the math, and at 60 miles an hour on average, can you do 1,000 miles in 24 hours?
Hold on. I'm on it.
I don't know if we can mathematically do that.
Okay, so 1,000 miles, you divide it by 60 miles per hour. Hold
Right.
on, Goody. Okay, so that means it would take 16 hours and 40 minutes.
Okay,
that you
now
would
you
have to be on the
factor-
road at 60
at
miles
60
an
miles. So now you have to factor in gas, you have to factor in food and like brakes, and you have to factor in the time it's going to take you to get up to 60 and down from 60. I don't know if it's mathematically possible.
hour. Yeah, and incidentals.
Yeah,
I mean, you hit traffic or
I mean, is it challenging? Yeah, that would be super challenging. And you would have to find a road that you can maintain 60 on. Unless you did a kind of a,
because
it would be cheating for me if you're asking me, but you could get on the highway and have a follow car, and the follow car has their hazards on the whole time.
yeah,
but
well,
that
I
would
was
be
just
kinda
going to say
cheating.
it's not safe to take it on the highway, the interstate. 'Cause
Yeah, so
you
you would have
have-
to, like, to be technical, you would have to find an off-highway route that minimal traffic, because you can't really mess around with hitting traffic on that. You know what I mean? You don't have the margin at all. Yeah.
That'd be tough. There would need to be some adjustments of the mileage or something. So, you want to take that one?
Oh no, he said to you. He said for you specifically.
Oh,
Yeah. You,
Oh, yeah.
You take it.
Ghost Moto Photo Song ? Also, I hyped the podcast on Dan today. I need y'all to come to Ape with me to use Celeb for discount.
What is ape?
Oh, he wants you to come to Aprilia with him, I guess, so he can get.
Oh, in
A-
like
a
Douglasville?
Yeah. All right, so hold on a second. He was talking about the Moto Photo Song, so it's when I gave him an assignment. Let's see if I can.
Photo song.
Okay.
Oh God. Oh God.
Hold on, give me a minute.
We have all the minutes you need, Ghost. And by all the minutes, I mean 14.
Okay. Tell me if you can hear this.
I can. A dialing.
You've reached Chase on Two Wheels, and I'm a nerd. Get
Did I
ready.
say that?
Get ready for that.
It kind of sounds
Get
like
ready
me.
for that. Get ready for that.
I can see myself saying that.
Get ready for that moto photo. Andy Uguni.
Okay.
Is the world's
Okay.
best hype man. Is the world's best hype man.
I mean,
Get ready
the
for
song
that
is
moto
proving it.
photo. Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips, but just a bunch of gibberish. Motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre.
Okay, now I'm super curious. Is that an AI me or is that clips of me? Because that would be so impressive if it was clips. Andy, I need answers right now.
I'm going to go with the AI route. He's been dabbling in that.
Oh, dabbling? Let's use the correct word. It's a little more than dabbling. Man's got a whole Instagram for the art he creates with AI.
I mean, this is true.
But honestly, that is really close to my voice. Because like I haven't done any voice thing. Like to do an AI voice, you typically have to read a specific thing for it to like learn your voice. And I haven't done any of that. So he's had to train a model on just the things I've said, which would be really impressive. Or he has grabbed a word of every one of those voice model teaching things from the show. That would be the ultimate level of impression. Like, holy shit.
Goonie, do you want to share how you did that?
I'm scared to know.
We'll see. While he considers that and posts that, let's go have a little tip of the week.
Oh yeah, we love a good tip.
It's my favorite.
We
tip
love
of
a
the
good
week.
tip.
Finally, time for the ghost tip of the week.
Yay! That was great.
Ghost tip of the week. This is sponsored by Ghost on Two Wheels on Instagram, of course.
Okay. All right, we'll hit that in a second. All right, guys, Ghost Tip of the Week, sponsored by Ghost on Two Wheels, who you should go following on Instagram. Buy a plunger before you need it. Bro, absolutely. That is not an Amazon purchase you want to make when you realize you need one. Just buy the plunger.
You'd have to DoorDash that if you were in a situation.
Yeah, that's not a 2-day shipping situation.
Leave it at the doorstep. Hold on.
Right. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Okay, I did forget going back to the Goonie thing. So Goonie's response to what we just said was, bro forgot about the super chat months ago. Bro, I forgot about stuff 2 days ago. So yeah. I super chatted Chase to read the sentences used to record for Alexa. Son of a bitch.
So
I had a feeling I was reading random shit for a reason, but also it seemed just lunatic enough to be making me say random things because we had a whole joke for a while of Chase will read anything. So
you say that like it's gone. No, it's still there.
Well, you know what I mean, though. It was
He
like a real
exploited
active piece of the lore for a while that it was like everybody will make Chase say stuff. And I think that must have happened. Goonie must have like slid that in around that time. So interesting.
That's what she said.
Fair. Also, that
we hadn't hit one of those in a while.
Yeah, that we had hit one of that in a second.
Oh man, yeah, it's scary what you can do with AI now, but I remember saying something. I was like, oh, we need like a bumper or a little musical intro for Moto Photo because we got something for Quick Shifter, we got something for Tip of the Week.
Right.
And I was like,
Andy's
Goonie,
like,
you go work on
hold
that.
my AI.
He's like, bro, I got you.
Right.
Oh, he wants me to see if I can pull up that
Goonie, he showed me the Dan Dan clip, and it is something to be appreciated. You are undisputedly the number one hype man, if I am to say so myself.
All right, let me all right, I'll just pull this up over here.
Dan, you need a S'more type man. Chase on Two Wheels podcast live on Two Wheels tonight at 4:30 if you want to join the S'more crew. Ooh, 4:30. What time?
I don't know if we got a Dan jumping in here because he didn't know of what time, but
Yep, he's gonna tune into this at 5:00 p.m. Eastern, or no, 4:00. Like, what time zone is he in? Actually, do we know?
he's in Arizona, right?
Oh, so he's
And
3 hours, 2 hours
and
back.
Arizona is a state that does not observe daylight saving time. So
Wait, so they're?
for-
Oh my
on
God, really?
So yeah, there's like Arizona, parts of Indiana do not observe it. They just like, no, we're not fooling with changing clocks and stuff.
No, okay, so I agree with doing that,
Yeah.
but their time is just even more off at random times in the year.
Yeah. So 3 hours back. So like right now they're
Oh.
on Pacific time. Well, they're on like it's the same as California. And then when we fall back in, a month or whatever, they'll be on mountain time.
So they basically just swap time zones.
Right. But their
They
clocks don't
Time
change.
zones by not changing.
Exactly.
That's hilarious. Like, it's one of those situations of like, to avoid something complicated. That New Mexico is 3
goodness.
hours back. I'd assume it's the same. Yeah.
New Mexico. Is that where he is?
Oh my God, that's so nuts, dude.
Hmm.
I couldn't imagine. I'd be so confused, and I would get nowhere on time. 100% of the time, I would have to use my phone and just forget that time changing was the thing.
Yeah. I guess
We've hit so many topics today. This has been fascinating.
It's been fun. So, well, I think we've kind of hit what we wanted to. Any final thoughts on the on what Kawasaki has done? I'm sure we'll get a lot more.
I mean, it's a very un-Kawasaki thing. Kawasaki, I want like dumb superchargers and hydrogen vehicles and electric hybrids.
Well,
this is for Kawasaki's like level of what we're used to from them. This is like one of those shitty speed bumps that nobody slows down for. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like, okay, cool. What's next? But
yeah. So what's the next real weird thing you
But
do?
in fairness, I think they've also got that coming. It's not like they've sacrificed their weird stuff for this. It's just like, oh, we're just doing
For
this.
sure not. I mean, that's their brand.
They-
I feel like Kawasaki's brand is random, weird shit that's like, how do you even do that? Oh, you're doing it? Okay, awesome. Please continue.
Yeah, they've filed a patent for the Versys 7 hybrid. So
Okay.
we'll have to see how these
So
other
they're just going to
hybrids
continue.
do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
The hybrid
hydrogen
stuff
bike,
I'm super interested in.
yeah,
for
the
sure.
hydrogen bike, they need to figure out something with those dadgum tanks on the back of it. that look
That's
like
some
a-
damn proof of concept shit. It's like, hey,
It
this is
is.
just got to work. This
It
is
ain't
just
pretty.
got to work.
I think they basically took a Ninja 1000 and just, did the things
Right.
to it. So,
Or their ZX14
Mhm.
thing.
so
Yeah, Kawasaki's weird like that. But you know
Goonie
what? At least
says-
they have something they're known for.
yeah. Goonie is saying, for real, I need y'all to go to Douglasville with me.
Bro, you know how far Douglasville is? Shoot. Well, that's a tell Adam your buddy Chase said that you're a friend.
Adam, you know some names over there.
I think that's the owner's name, Adam.
Maybe you just need to send Goody a little clip of like, show this to him. He'll be like, Adam, Chase,
No,
gi-
dude, that
give
would
him
be
a deal.
hilarious. It's like, hey, I can confirm this guy is a big fan, and we have a whole thing. Just trust.
I mean, here's the thing, Goonie. Goonie talks a lot about getting a new bike, so a lot of it is like whatever. But when he actually gets one, I want to be there for it because
Yeah.
that 390 needs to go.
Really? You
No,
think it's
no.
too small?
It's time for something good for him.
Dude, the
So-
390 is a sick bike.
Yeah,
But
mean,
to be
it's
fair,
nice.
the 660 is as well. So,
it is true.
no complaining there.
All right, gang. Anything else, Chase?
I don't have anything else, man. I'm ready for that R9, though. I'm excited for that.
I think we'll talk about that in a couple weeks once we get some specs on it. Deep dive in on that. Spec it out compared to its siblings, the MT-09 stuff, and then other brands. And
I like that.
so until then, ride safe and
use Ghost
That's all I
Cardo
got.
code.
and use Ghost Cardo code because I want to order some more Ruckus parts.
Absolutely, you should.
I need a new suspension.
A new suspension? Hell yes.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
I'm not going to hit the outro. I'm just going to be awkward for a second.
Oh, okay, cool. We can do that. Hold on.
See if any super chats come in. They won't. All right, this is